You know, it's very interesting to see the human design reports within the daily transits of the summary explanations they are giving. You could standardly ask like how are those coming about, you know? Like we're living through some type of experiment, and that experiment has different quote unquote refractions end quote. It's like when a diamond is interacting with a different diamond's aura, and somehow they have stationary rotations and fixed cycles within that there, as certain fractions and angles are in certain positions, they're creating a very unique dynamic in such a way where that unique dynamic, it's it's kind of like it's coming from a particular place, like, you know, the like, because it's like, where is this wisdom coming from, right? So if this wisdom is coming from somewhere, and that wisdom has its own report based on the phenomena that's occurring there, then we're just a reflection of that, because, and a refraction of that, because for something to tell us the phenomena of itself, as that's doing that, it's beaming its phenomena towards some microcosm object, a refraction, right? Or like, say one so for a more standard clear example, say one diamond is refracting in a space of one type of nothingness. As it's doing that, different parts of its refractions are beaming lights on a certain type of nothingness, creating the projection from itself, from its somethingness into a nothingness. And we are the quote unquote blank space nothingness. And within that blank space nothingness, we're just going through the ropes of the life, you know. We're just going through what something is already happening. There's no choice in such a deep, hardcore metaphysical aspect. There's no choice, because the phenomena is doing what it's doing, right? It's already doing what it's doing. And for us for different perceivers and observers through the threshold, for us to perceive what's happening there through the original self source of its own different parts of itself, and it refracts into the nothingness, and in between the refraction of the somethingness and the nothingness are unique, original, sporadic, new created observers, and they're the ones reporting the wisdom itself. And as the wisdom is being reported in the wisdom itself, that's being beamed on this quote unquote nothingness of an earth, end quote, in a certain metaphysical context. And what's happening here is we're just kind of going through the ride. We're just going through the ropes of what's happening, because if God is all powerful, then why would he need anybody's power? No, he's projecting all of this stuff, and we're the microcosm going back to that, and we're trying to figure out why we're in fragments from the wholeness. Because the human design reports, they're explaining certain summaries of certain phenomena of wisdom, but you have to ask how those things are so. It's like, we're doing that on a microcosm reflection, because if you read the human design reports, it kind of like sees like we're more or less kind of in alignment with that based on our harmony with source. But if we're out of alignment with that, then we're gonna judge inaccurate stuff. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's because you're not reading certain reports as I'm reading it. You know, I'm reading a whole different quote unquote spectrum of reports. And as I'm reading this spectrum of reports, it's like, wow, this is just what the universe is doing. No choice.